Alive and alert on the north side of the dirt. It is your man D-Real coming at you with another Be Real with D-Real, where every time it is what I do. And today I shall endeavor to do just that. If you caught my live last night, then if you caught all of my live, you heard me talking about Ben Grimm, aka The Thing. Ben Grimm, aka The Thing. And I told y'all a little bit about Ben Grimm's comic, his little solo comic that he did back in the 70s and 80s called Mar-Vell 2-in-1. Well, you know what? And I want to tell you about one of my favorite Mar-Vell 2-in-1 comics, as it kind of figures in pertinently with some of the characters that we've seen cinematically and how some of the things in these comics back in the 70s were eventually utilized as material for things like Infinity War, Endgame, that kind of stuff. But before we get off into that, I need y'all to do what you always do for me. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the Be Real with D-Real page so that when new material comes out, you get it. If you're digging with a brother shoveling, put some dirt in my bucket. Comment, like, subscribe on the share. Okay. According to my analytics, most of the people who rock with me are people who are within my age group. Big shocker. um, I know y'all remember Mar-Vell 2-in-1, but for the sake of people who may be coming to the page to be like, let's see what this dude with the beard's about. Give you a little bit of direction. Yeah, y'all, as you can plainly see, Mar-Vell 2-in-1 was a comic, of course, made by Mar-Vell, back in 1974, and prominently featured Benjamin J. Grimm, aka The Thing, in a different story every month with a different superhero in the Marvel Universe. As you can see, he's teamed up with everybody from Luke Cage, Power Man, Iron Man, characters that are popular like Morbius, characters like Ghost Rider, and characters you may not have heard of like the Scarecrow, Kazar, the Son of Satan, and Black Goliath. But one thing always showed through in all of these comic books that featured Ben Grimm, we always got to hear his signature battle cry, his clobbering time, and we always got to see his unique way of solving the problem because it wasn't always punching the crap out of something. Ben Grimm had a couple thoughts where he came up with some pretty slick ideas and managed to help out. This Project Pegasus series, that was really a great series that George Perez art. And I ain't just saying it because it was George Perez art mostly. But that's why it looked good. I'm just saying. Rest in peace, George Perez. We love you, dog. But what I was trying to get at with y'all with this story, or should I say this video, that I wanted to talk about one of my favorite Mar-Vell 2-in-1 books, and it wasn't the monthly, it was the annual. This one right here, Mar-Vell 2-in-1 Annual #2 from 1977. Chock full of guest stars. Along with the regular team up, you had Spider-Man. The regular team up, you got Captain Mar-Vell, you got the Avengers, that roster, which was a pretty dope one at the time in the 70s, as well as Adam Warlock. This story is actually a continuation of another story that takes place in Avengers Annual #7, as you can see with Adam Warlock and Captain Mar-Vell in tow. Now, when this story opens up, Captain Mar-Vell and Adam Warlock are coming to Avengers Mansion to warn them about Thanos. It's got that Jim Starlin art, man. I love that Jim Starlin art. He just has a way of making the cosmic look cosmic. But I digress. There's Mar-Vell showing up. I miss Mar-Vell. And Adam Warlock just pops out of nowhere. But eventually, they all get together and get into battle. They're going into battle with a whole fleet of ships. And there's battle taking place not only in outer space with Thor and Iron Man knocking out ships. You got the Avengers breaching the ship along with Mar-Vell to spank some behind inside the ship. And there are some wonderful pages in this book, the art. Need I say more? But eventually, they run afoul of Thanos. Thanos murders Adam Warlock. The Avengers try to fight him, but find that destroying his doomsday weapon is more prudent as he escapes. Or so we think. But when we continue over here in Marvel 2-in-1 Annual, also with art by Jim Starlin, the Avengers are still in that fight they were in. Well, this is just kind of a flashback, but here we saw that. And here they are getting handled. And they got to use a big space cannon to blast all of those guys. So now Thanos, however you want to pronounce it, has the Avengers as his specimens, looking pretty gleeful about it, or villainous, however you want to look at it. They get Adam Warlock, take the soul gem off his head. You still got that same kind of Thanos craziness. Now, all of this has been revealed to Spider-Man in a vision, and it prompts Spider-Man to go, yep, you guessed it, to the Baxter building and bug being Grimm because he's one of the few guys he knows that can fly out into space. And this vision ain't a vision, which is what he's telling him when he tells him to shut up. But eventually, as we all know, Grimm agrees to it and takes Spider-Man out in space. And they go to the ship. And they fight aliens. And Spider-Man's having fun fighting the smaller ones. And Ben Grimm's fighting the big ones. But not in zero gravity. And they get took down. So, bottom line, Ben Grimm and Spider-Man are here with Thanos. Choose to try to fight him. I like the things Ben Grimm says. Like, for instance, Dr. Grimm has got a cure for what ails you, his world famous knuckle knockout formula. Didn't work. Lay Benji out cold. Spider-Man, no, he can't handle that because Thanos asking him if you want to crave a taste of his might. Spidey, like, see, you could tell this was a different time. What Spider-Man saying, here you are facing a monster who just creamed the Avengers, Ben Grimm, and Captain Marvel, and now plans to blow the sun out. Face it, Parker, this is way out of your league. You know, he knows his limitations. And so he takes the better part of valor. But what we don't realize, Spider-Man acting on his own or through the actions of Lord Chaos and Master Order, jumps down and breaks the stasis machine holding the Avengers, which results in three Avengers coming to put hands on Thanos. And of course, as we all know, Thanos has always been a match for the Avengers. They're fighting Thanos' minions as usual, but with the addition of Benjamin J. Grimm, aka the Thing, we are afforded really cool pictures like this. And really cool instances like this. Break that sequence down. Ben Grimm gets hit. Thor hits Thanos. Ben Grimm comes back. And they both hit Thanos. Until that happens. But that's why Spider-Man's here, right? To do what Spider-Man's got to do, does whatever a spider can, even when he's getting bust upside his dome, manages to back that guy out. See, a lot of people don't know about Spider-Man. Spider-Man's like Superman. He ain't normally fighting at full strength when he's fighting people. But when you know the stakes is like this, Spider-Man pimp slapping folks. I ain't a big Spider-Man fan, but I recognize his game. Freeze old Adam Warlock. The only person that can stop Thanos. And does so by turning him into a big ass statue. As Ben Grimm looks on and goes, wow. Aliens give up. Throw in weapons. And there are graves for Adam Warlock. Oh, and Gamora, I forgot to mention, makes an appearance in this comic. Wow, Adam Warlock was 10 years old. And how reckless is that to just leave a soul gem sitting out on a grave? Ben Grimm's kind of like Spider-Man's big bro. Not his real big bro, but his older bro. You know what I mean? And then at the end, we see Adam Warlock. That's Gamora, y'all. That's what Gamora is supposed to look like. So Zoe Saldana is kind of missing the mark visually, but you get the gist of it. And Thanos cries a tear. That's good stuff, y'all. That's why you should pick up a book. Pick up a book and read it. You'd be surprised what you find in a book. But yeah, that's Mar-Vell 2-in-1, number 2, from all the way back in 1977. I believe Mr. Paul Martin mentioned it on the live. So yeah, that was just a little glimpse for you, bro, and for everybody else that digs Mar-Vell 2-in-1, for everybody that digs the Thing, and everybody that digs Jim Starlin, and just good comics in general. This has been the Friday edition of Be Real with D-Real. If you got questions, comments, or discussion, the comments is where you drop them. And as always, I'll be coming at you with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good and be good to each other. Why am I doing all these hand movements?